The cold winter wind blew hard through Pine Ridge. Sarah Mitchell stood on the train platform with only a small bag. She had sent Thomas Whitmore a photo, but it wasn't hers, it was her dead sister's picture. At 32, Sarah looked different than the young woman in the photo. When she got off the train, Thomas took one look at her and said, "You're not the woman in the photograph." Everyone on the platform stared. Sarah felt embarrassed and scared. What happens when your last hope falls apart? Thomas was angry. "This is lying," he said loudly in the hotel. "Mail-order brides should tell the truth." Sarah's face turned red, but she stood tall. "The contract said a good woman, nothing about looks," she replied. Thomas laughed meanly. "A woman who lies about basic things has bad character." That's when she saw him, the blacksmith, watching from the corner. James Cooper was tall and strong, missing 2 fingers on his left hand. Most men would have looked away, but he stepped forward. "Problem here?" he asked. "Private matter, Cooper," Thomas said. "Seems to me the lady deserves better than being yelled at in public," James replied. When James offered Sarah his arm, she took it. His touch made her feel something she'd forgotten, a man's kindness. Outside the hotel, snow was falling. "I should find somewhere to stay while I get money to go back to Chicago," Sarah said. "Seems sad to travel all this way just to turn around," James said. "There's a teaching job open. The miners' children need school. The pay is fair. Why would you help a stranger?" Sarah asked. "Maybe because I know what it's like to start over. War teaches a man about second chances." James showed her the schoolhouse. It was simple but clean. As he lit the fire, she felt hope for the first time in years. 3 weeks later, Sarah had settled into teaching. The children loved her, and she was happy. James often brought coal for the stove, always finding reasons to help. One evening, Thomas came to see her. "I was too quick to judge," he said. "Maybe we could start fresh. The town needs a mayor's wife." But Sarah could see he still looked at her like she was something to buy, not love. That night, she went to the schoolhouse to think. James was there, fixing the stove. Thomas came calling, she told him. "What do you want?" James asked. "I want to feel alive again," she said honestly. James stepped closer. "There's nothing kind about what I want to do to you," he whispered. She kissed him. His kiss was warm and full of feeling, nothing like her late husband's cold pecks. James kissed like a hungry man, and she felt truly wanted for the first time. But footsteps outside made them pull apart. Thomas's voice came through the door. James hid while Sarah pretended to grade papers. The next morning, someone had seen James leaving the schoolhouse. By noon, whispers followed Sarah everywhere. The town ladies called her shameless. Thomas came with flowers and a demand, "Marry me and the talk will stop." "What would you expect from me?" she asked. "What any husband expects, you do what I say and give me what I want," he said, grabbing her shoulders. The door slammed open. James stood there like an angry giant. "Take your hands off her. This is private," Thomas said. "Not anymore," James replied. "Is this what you want?" James asked Sarah, looking between Thomas's cold eyes and James's burning ones. "No," she whispered, then louder, "No, it's not." Thomas's face turned dark with anger. "You'll regret this," he said before leaving. "I've just destroyed my life," Sarah said sadly. James knelt beside her. "No, you just saved it." He pulled her up and kissed her with desperate hunger. She responded just as strongly. Under his touch, she felt beautiful instead of ashamed. Thomas didn't give up. Within a week, he made Sarah's life hell. The school board questioned if she should teach. The boarding house got complaints. Even the store owner suggested she shop elsewhere. Thomas sent a letter, "Marry him by month's end or be thrown out of town completely." James found her crying in the schoolhouse. He read the letter and got angry. "Marry me," he said suddenly. Her heart jumped. "James, not just for safety dash. Marry me because what we have is real. Because you make me feel alive. Because I love you." Tears filled her eyes. I'm not young or pretty like that photo dash. You're the woman who makes my heart race. You're the woman I dream about every night. Before she could answer, Thomas burst in, furious. Touching, but pointless, he sneered. He pulled out papers. Cooper, you're kicked out of your shop. The bank wants its money back now. The trap was perfect, Thomas could destroy them both. But then Sheriff Roberts came in with 3 minors. Funny thing about private matters in small towns, they become public real quick. One minor stepped forward. We've been hearing stories about missing money from worker accounts. Roberts held up a ledger. Mrs. Mitchell brought this to me. Seems she knows about bookkeeping. You've been stealing from the miners. Thomas's mask fell away, showing the scared animal underneath. You meddling witch, he snarled at Sarah. James moved to hit him, but the miner was faster. His fist connected with Thomas's jaw. That's for stealing my boy's school money. Roberts arrested Thomas for stealing and lying. In the sudden quiet, Sarah fell into James's arms, both shaking with relief. Is it over? She whispered. The scary part is. Now comes the good part. Spring came to Pine Ridge like a gift. Sarah stood in the doorway of their cabin, watching James work in their garden. 6 months married, and her heart still skipped when he smiled at her. Their wedding had been simple, the whole town watching as 2 hurt souls chose to heal together. No fancy dress or church bells, just honest promises under the big sky. Her hand touched her still flat belly where new life was growing. She'd tell James tonight when they were alone. You're thinking loud again, James said, standing up from the plants. Good thoughts or dangerous ones? He asked, walking to her. Both, she admitted. He pulled her into his arms. I love you, Sarah Cooper, he said. They stood together, watching the sun paint the mountains gold. Behind them was a house filled with things they'd chosen together. Ahead were years of love growing stronger through choice, not just need. The frontier had tested them both, stripped away fake things to show the truth. They were imperfect people who'd found perfect love in an imperfect world. And that, Sarah thought as James's arms held her tight, was the most beautiful thing of all.